I think it's really helpful to be very personal. So, what I'm about to say is extremely personal, but I think it might have some value for at least one person. So, I'm willing to lay it all out there. Um, I've been thinking about praying in the spirit lately. And if you've ever been with a woman giving birth, or you are a woman who's given birth, there's some things that only women that actually give birth can understand. That tremendous contraction, the urge to push. There's a lot of things that go on. I heard this lady say, when Satan comes knocking at the door, I let Jesus answer. I thought that was really insightful in some ways. So I was a total lean on your own understanding kind of girl, not a trust in the Lord with all your heart kind of girl. And when I leaned on my own understanding, I couldn't really comprehend praying in the spirit. It just seemed off, wrong. I couldn't understand it. I didn't have the faith to do it because I couldn't reason in my mind about it. But I've come a long way and realized that actually praying in the spirit is a kind of release and relief, and opens the windows of heaven with maybe inspiration you wouldn't have without it in the pressures and forces of life. It's almost like cast your burdens onto Jesus because he cares for you. Sometimes we don't even know what those burdens are. So, I wanted to say something else. It's late. About praying in the Spirit and getting revelation. So when I actually decided to stop leaning on my own understanding, this is what I was going to say. There's these twins on YouTube, and they're about 1.5, maybe 12 to 15 months old, and they babble away at each other. Babble, 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 babble. It's like they're having a conversation with each other in their babbling language. And I was thinking about that too, with really what is praying in the Spirit? Pray in the Spirit and pray with understanding. You know, these two twins are very insightful in something that God might be trying to teach us. Unless you become like a child, you can't enter the kingdom of heaven. A child in our own wisdom and our humility, where we actually are dependent on a father. And some of the most helpful times I've ever had in my life, in extreme confliction of soul because the darkness was attacking me, just praying in the Spirit was extremely helpful. And I can relate to that even more so now watching the twin video. If you saw the father like the father of those twins, and us like one of the twins, the parents probably understand everything the kids are saying, right? Kids don't know what they're saying. They're just flinging out things that don't even make any sense. You should pull that up, twins talking to each other. You'll see it on YouTube. But I thought, this is really powerful. This is very insightful towards our relationship with the Lord, these two little twins, because sometimes it's just babbling to us. It doesn't make any sense, but there's this mysterious kind of relief and release and even revelation and power over the devil, even the inspiration of truth and wisdom and understanding just from praying in the Spirit can be a very present help in time of trouble. So if you're not filled with the Spirit, I would ask you to just ask the Lord to give you some deep revelation about it, because it doesn't seem right and it doesn't seem natural. And anybody that leans on their own understanding has a problem with it, right? But when you look at it in the perspective of a woman giving birth, they're yelling, they're moaning, they're travailing, they're laboring. That, praying in the Spirit can be tremendously relieving, even though we don't understand it, having faith that God understands it. And he knows that deep pit in our soul. Maybe that's where our soul is, in our belly. And the very strength of a woman's body is her stomach. That's where she gives birth. That's where the muscles are the strongest. Maybe that's where our soul actually lives. It's why we feel really sick inside when darkness is attacking us through other people. And even knowing Gene Sullivan and praying and just really quick prayers in present times of trouble, when the gates of hell were getting hold of him and other people, it's really powerful. The Lord helps him do what's right in time and space with people because of that instant praying thing he's got going on and praying in the Spirit. It's been very much of a blessing to watch him relate to the Lord all these years, even when I first knew him, and I'd see him out walking and praying and talking to the Lord, praying in the Spirit. It's powerful. It can make a difference in your life. And I just wanted to talk about that for a minute. Pray this blesses you. Amen.